Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make this twisted 2-colour Twisted Boutique bow using the Brilliant Bow Maker snap clip template. Now this one is one of the most requested ones in all the tutorial groups, and it looks like it's meant to be complicated, but it's not as difficult as people think it is. So I'm going to show you how to make this, and I will say something I do with some of my templates, and I do things. I have added a super thin line on mine using the guide, because these are the guides for your start points on your templates. So I've done on mine so I can do this tutorial really easily, and for a guide for future references, is I've taken my template, and what I have done so I can get my creases in exactly the right place is with a sharp permanent Sharpie I've followed the line up on both sides, so that when I'm using the templates in the future, I don't have to mess around and like not have the visual bit that I need for this. And the other trick with these ones for 2 colours, doesn't matter which template size you're using, whether or not you're using the 1.5, which we'll be using today, the 2.5, 7/8, 1 inch template, etc., things like that. We are using the 1.5. Whatever size you want to take the size that you want, split it in 2. So if it's 36 inches, divide that by 2, and then add half an inch for you, because you need the overlap when you're making the bow. So you need like a little bit extra, and the same with as if you do it in centimeters. So normally I'd do 60 on these for my standard bow size. So I've taken that and divided that by half, and I've done my lengths to 32 centimeters each. But whatever you want, like I said, split your total in half, add half an inch or a couple of centimeters. Okay, so that's how you work it out, and that's for all your sizing. Just split it in half, add half an inch, a couple of centimeters, and you can't go wrong. Okay, now the reason I always say half a centimeter, a couple of centimeters, or half an inch is because you need it to create the overlap, and I'll show you on the back here. So underneath here there is like the overlap where the seam line joins, so that's why we have that. And then we've got our 2, and I have got these lovely like bright pink and bright blue. And you want to take it, you want to fold it directly in half and heat crease. And the same thing on this side, directly in half and heat crease. Okay, and then decide which one you want as your base and which one you want on the top. So if you want the blue on the top, you start with the blue. If you want the pink on the top, you start with the pink. So I'm going to do another one that matches what we've just made. So the thing that you do is line this up with here first, and then you can use one of your clips to clip that in place, and then take your pink, and you'll understand why I've done this line here in a minute. Oh, this line. Clip your pink in, and what you want the pink to be is in line with this guide. So if it's not, you can move it until it's in the place that you need it. And that's why I have that second visual, so I know where to guide it, because that's the main point, getting this crisscross here so that they perfectly, your triangle perfectly lines up with your D and your A, is part of the whole Brilliant Bow Maker theory and how it works. So if you don't get that part right, that's where it all starts to go a bit skew and you don't get your loops equal, because you can see here they're all evenly out. Now I use this E8000. You can use any sort of fabric glue, tacking glue to do this. And what you want to do is heat seal all your edges in the blue clear bit of your flame, and this is where the extra ½ inch, a couple of centimetres come in, because what you want to do is we're going to make our loops like we do normally. So a little bit of glue, you bring this round like I said, about ½ centimetre, ½ centimetre, 1/4 inch, whatever you work in. And then while you're just waiting for that to set a little, just put your clip on, but you want it so it's like this. We're going to do the same this side. Just a little bit of glue, just hold it in place while we're sewing through and getting all of our bits where we need them to be. Just put my lid on so I don't get the glue everywhere, because I have a habit of doing that. Glue myself to the desk, or glue bits of random fabric to the desk or ribbon that I don't want to. And again, the main thing with this is consistency. So you want to make sure that you've got the same amount of overlap both sides. So take my little ruler and I'll show you. There you go, ½ centimetre, ½ centimetre. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm still going to do my tack stitch as normal, just to hold this all in place. So this is just so it doesn't move when we're bringing our loops over, especially with them being glued. So there we go. Well, that is a little tack stitch. Move our scissors out of the way. I'm going to rethread my needle for a little bit later on, once we get everything all sorted out. Right, so, and now we just bring these level as we normally do. Move your clips out of the way. And bring this side over first into our clips. And the thing you want to do is you want the overlap, and you'll see you want this in the middle of your overlap. So your centre should now be in the centre of that overlap. Okay? And I just use the clip just to keep it in place for a second while I bring in the other side over. You want to be doing exactly the same thing on this side. Bringing it over and getting it so it snaps into its little clips. And again, you want your overlap evenly across that line. And can you see how even they are on both sides? So this is what it will look like, and this is what the front will look like. Okay, so this is the front, this is the back. I'm just gonna get that so it doesn't look messy there. Okay, now with your needle and thread, from beneath, right where your triangle starts, using that as a guide to the centre, you want 1, 2 up through the back, and we want 3, want the 4th one the other side of our centre. Try and make them nice and even, and the other thing is we want to be sewing through the middle of our lineup, so we want to be capturing all of those layers. And then you can move this clip You want to go back down about the same as where you started this side, so you can see, make them as even as you can, and then back up from beneath so that you're going up through those two and through the triangle there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and on the front you'll have the 1 stitch here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the other side. Okay, and then once you've got all of those in, you can gently unsnap your ribbon. There we go. Just going to trim a little excess threads off. But there you go, you can see the beginnings of the big petite bow on here, and there's all your overlap. Look, can you see how even it is throughout? And that's where the mistake some people make. They don't overlap it enough. They either don't lap it, they overlap it too much, or they overlap it so it's literally on the line, and then you don't stitch through it and it doesn't settle as it should. So then you take your bow as normal. You want to pull it so we get a nice even cinch. You can now pull your tacking stitch out, and then you just want to bring this round and wrap your centre a couple of times, and then stitch off in the back. Watch your back ribbon. Just trapped it in my loop there. Luckily I didn't tighten it before I'd finished. There you go. That is the back of the bow. And this is the front. And as you can see, you've got it nice and balanced, all nice and even. Put our little extra clips out of the way. And I've got a alligator clip here. I've got a knotted centre, and I have twisted it so I've got one side blue and one side pink. We're just going to add a little bit of glue to this. Just centre that up. Take our 9mm that we're using to wrap. Open your clip. Bring that right on the centre. And I always wrap round twice. So once, open, round again. Excess off. When your lighter works. Bit of glue. Pop that round. And then, like I said, if you want to, you can add a little pop of colour. And I do it so that it's the opposite way round to what it's set against. Just do a little bit of glue to hold it in place. It's a bit much, so I'm just going to trim these both down. You do just need it a little bit longer when you're making, to make sure you've got enough room to knot it in the first place. Heat seal our ends, give them a little pinch so that they're glued together. only took 3 lighters, a little bit of glue, open your clip and wrap one side, open your clip, wrap the other side, and there you go, you've got a cute double colour knotted centre. And like I said, you can play around with which direction you want them, because as you can see, these are opposite. Use your extra guide to make sure you get your placement right, and like I said, all you need to do to get your sizes for your bigger sizes is take your guides, divide them by 2 and add that 1/2 inch, couple of centimetres, just so you've got enough room to do your overlaps. And like I said, you can play around with all your different templates, and like I said, have fun making, and like I said, playing around and doing all your different colours and all the different combinations. But it's so pretty, so cute, and a lot simpler than people expect. Thanks for watching. Bye.